Hello, hello. All right. So I'm gonna get straight to the point. Today's stream is just gonna be like a Q&A because I don't really have anything in mind today. So I'm just gonna be answering questions about the future of Pilgrimmed and whatever you want to ask. I'm not gonna be answering certain questions, anything that will like spoil the update too much, because we always like to keep sneak peek spoiler free. So I guess you can just ask away at this point. Inspirations for some bosses that we made. For starters, like some of them were just made out of like dreams we had. So like Highway Sun and Unfair Fight were both from dreams that we had, and we like implemented it into the game. What is the next update about? I can't really say. I can't necessarily say, but yeah, you'll just have to find out for yourself, really. How many new weapons will there be? Well, here's the thing though. The update isn't done, so we don't know exactly. I mean, if we just go by like average how much weapons we introduce in an update, I mean, then I mean, we've made a couple weapons for it. I don't know if we're gonna make any more, but we should be. There should at least be one for each class. I don't know if that'll be possible, but there should be one for each class, or at least something relating to each class. Will there be new races? Unfortunately, I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think so. Although you may be encountering something new there. It's not necessarily a race, but you'll encounter something new there. What is Swamp Giant? That was an old boss that we had when Swamp was like really bad. It was like a very like early boss that we added in development, but it was kind of bad. If you saw videos of it, you would know it's bad. Or wait, no, are you talking about? No, I don't think you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I remember it as Swamp Horror, but how's development going? Okay, so here's the thing, and here's what we have to explain. Um, for however long the update takes. So the update, um, in essence, it didn't get anything done for like 3 weeks, essentially. For like 3 weeks, nothing wasn't done because of situations. I can't go into detail, but because of a situation, we weren't able to do anything for 3 weeks. So, but we've started picking up pace again. Hopefully, we can get it out sometime this year. Unused room behind Snow Cultist spawn. What meant to be there? It's just unused. That's basically the whole gist of it. It's just unused. How big is the next update going to be in comparison to the last one, or is planned to be? Okay, here's the thing, right? The update that we're working on, it's not going to be like super big. We don't really I don't really think it's a good idea to keep making super big updates, because like Snow Cultist, for example. Snow Cultist was a big update, quote unquote, when it really wasn't. It wasn't really a big update, but people had such high expectations for it, and also the fact that it took 3 months. Now, part of that, it taking 3 months, was an inner control or also it's just because of, you know, us trying to enjoy our own lives. But, you know, in essence, making super big updates isn't really a good idea. I want to start making smaller updates, but I haven't really done much yet to make into an update. So, but like the update is going to be like, it's not going to be like, it's going to be bigger than Snow Cultist, I'd say, in terms of size, because Snow Cultist was just like one area, and then you one new area, a fetch quest, and then two new bosses. Kinda, it was just two new bosses, and then like a little area that you could access, and that was basically the whole update. And then there was of course the reworks and stuff, but that kind of leaked in from the April Fool's update. The reworks flooded in from there, so it kind of shrunk the update in essence. So, will there be a normal bell but not rusty? I don't know. I mean, I don't see the what the point of that is. I mean, I think I have it actually. Hold on. Hold on. Do I have it? Nah, it doesn't have it. It does exist, I'll tell you that, but there's nothing really there. Alright, let's see what else. Will there be new speed-based accessories added? I don't think so. I don't know. We haven't finished the update, so I can't really tell you that. It's just whether we decide on adding something like that. But I don't think it'd be really relevant to the update, so who knows. What's even the point of races? Some have buffs, some don't. Well, I'd say that the point is cosmetic, because you get the race to look a certain way. I mean, of course it has its own benefits, but you really get it because you want to look like it. So, I mean, that's mainly what I think you get a race for. Alright, let's see what else. Does Pilgrim have any judicial system? We're not getting into Pilgrim politics. Will there be more boss fights starting to see like big fish or no? Well, here's the thing with like water fights, right? Many people say that they don't like big fish, and that's because, like, you know, it's kind of tedious to fight something in the water. It's more fun to fight them on land, but you don't see a fish on land. So, I mean, I'd say like I'd like to add more water bosses, but the problem is like it's hard to not make it like a gimmicky fight. Like if Big Fish was a gimmicky fight, I'd be all for that, to be honest. Like you had like a harpoon or something instead of just having to randomly swing your weapon at it. And if it was a bit more fleshed out instead of just having the same one or two attacks and then the ranged attack, then I mean, sure, I mean water bosses would be nice. So I mean it just depends on like how it would be handled. Water fights would be a lot more harder to make, you know, not a gimmicky fight or anything. So, will there be a boss that's like Sisyphus Prime? I've never played. I never fought Sisyphus Prime, so I can't tell you that. Breaks update when? I don't know. Will we get more fishing equipment or rods? Okay, so yeah, fishing is gonna get more stuff in the future. We already have some stuff planned for fishing in the future, but you'll see when that happens. It was supposed to be a part of the Snow Cultist update, but I guess it got pushed back. Do I play Rogue? Yeah. Well, okay, so I played Rogue like I first started playing Rogue in 2021, and then I stopped after a while, and then now again I'm playing it a little bit, but I don't really play it as often as I used to. Will there be more melee types like light, medium, heavy spear, etc.? In the update, I did add like a new type, but it's probably just gonna be an exclusive type to that one weapon. And there's also another cool weapon that's coming out with it soon that's like melee, but it's also, you know, It's different. I'd say that it's very different compared to what you have right now. So, like, just yeah, like when you see it, you'll see it. It'll be cool. You'll like it. Okay? Probably. You'll you'll see. What do you think of Pilgrim YouTubers? How do you find content for this game? This game hasn't gone an update in like the fact that people have found content for this game after so long is crazy to me. Like that is some crazy dedication because there's nothing really. Most YouTubers quit Pilgrimmed because either they got bored of it or there wasn't enough updates. But like some YouTubers have actually been finding content where I wouldn't have found content, or like normal people wouldn't have found content. So, I mean, congratulations to finding videos to post. 3D especially. I've like interacted with 3D in the past. He's crazy. Will there be more Venom type weapons? Probably. Venom could use just a little bit more love. Is shield like mechanic will be added? I don't know. I don't know. We haven't really thought of that. Spears are heavy weapons. Titan Brace gives super armor when swinging spears. Fix this team bad. I don't know. I didn't add it, so I don't really care. I mean, if anything, you should be benefiting from that. That's all I'm saying. Rapier when? Oh yeah, the rapier. Who knows when it'll be added? When it gets added, you'll see it, but I don't know when it's being added myself, so. Really curious about you reworking Kai's entire moveset. Did you take some inspiration / reference for it, or just by your own? Most of it was just made by me. Like, I just imagined the moveset. People say that it's like a reference to Minos Prime. It wasn't. It's just, and I keep saying it, it's just people think that it's inspired from Minos Prime, but it really isn't. Some guy made like a cool little video where it has like Minos voice lines over the moves, and that's pretty cool, but it's not really a Minos Prime reference. Do devs read the suggestions? Yes, and here's what people don't realize. Suggestions are suggestions. It means that they don't have to be added. I do read them, and other devs do read them, but here's the problem. We just none of them we really wanted to add, and you've seen like in the past we've added stuff that we like that people suggested, like we've added it before. It's just recently we don't really, and also it's more like we've had like a set idea on what we want in an update right now, and since people don't know the context for the update, they wouldn't know what to suggest. So we have like our testers also suggest some things, and usually that's more looked at because they actually have context for the updates. And you'll say, oh, just give us context, and it's like, no, we're not giving you context because that's spoilers. Who is Dylane? Dylane is a creature, and his towers cannot be beaten. It's forbidden. Do you have any further plans for Saga Mode? Saga Mode was it was an April Fool's update, so I don't know. I feel like it'd be nice to do something new for Saga Mode. Well, not Saga Mode, just April Fool's in the future when April Fool's comes around again. But we'll see. What do you think about the boss False Believer? I'd say that it's not really a good boss. I mean, the character is really good. I like the character and like his lore and everything, but his moveset isn't really that good. But I mean, who cares? The Dylan's Tower got cancelled on release. It didn't exist at all. So, that's your question answered. Is the update going to be about an area that we already have, or it's going to be something brand new like the Snow Cultist update? It's going to be something brand new, but it'll be an extension of something that already exists. That's all I can really say. What gender is Granny? I don't know. What do you think a rock called Granny would be? What do you think a rock would be at all? What is the sunken gem? The sunken gem was it was it was an accessory that, like, when you died, it resurrect you for like 30 seconds and it'll kill you again if you didn't kill an enemy in those 30 seconds. Well, there will be even more Pilgrimmed lore, probably. Probably. You'll see. Can you prove my theory? The new area which contains the charted remains will be in the junk pits. I'm more for the fruit folk. It's not in the junk pits. So, the junk pits, the update isn't the junk pits. Let's see. Also, why do devs post sneak peeks in general instead of sneak peeks? Because there's a difference between official sneak peeks and sneak peeks that we like to just post for no reason. Like, if we posted everything we posted in general in sneak peeks, it wouldn't really look, you know, important. You know, and also it's just like the fact that, you know, we like to keep sneak peeks for more, we're revealing sneak peeks rather than just some random shit that I post at like 10 p.m. when no one's even in the chat anyways. I like it's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. You have to be looking in the Discord for when I post that occasional one time to find the screenshot where it's conveniently cropped and not show anything. Is Junk Pits still getting worked on? We haven't really touched Junk Pits. Junk Pits wasn't really a thing we ever added. It was just kind of there. We haven't really started working on it. Who knows if it'll ever get an expansion. I don't think it will, but we'll see. Give the fruit folk blacksmith a purpose for real. Why? Why? Just why? Why do you want him to have a purpose? He's useless. Female boss one. Here's the problem with having a female boss, because if we had a female boss, and every one of you little gremlins will do terrible things to it, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why we haven't added a female boss. And also because we don't usually think of female bosses. So usually our bosses are creatures and like figments of imaginations rather than, you know, humanoids. What do you think of old sheath suggestion? I don't fucking know what that is, so I saw it today. I was like, I didn't really look at the suggestion. I just saw the word old sheath and I was like, oh, whatever that is. I don't even know what that is, but how finished is the next update? Here's the thing. It's like it could be done, but it isn't. That's all I can really say. It's like, because there's very few that needs to be done, but the very few things that need to be done are big things. So that's why we haven't really, and hopefully we can get like at least like a sneak peek at like an actual official one that we'll post in the channel, the sneak peek channel. Hopefully we can get at least one of those out, because I admit we've been like starving the player base of information on the thing. We post like very vague screenshots that maybe in the future, you know, you'll see that channel light up a little bit, and you'll be very excited to see another shitty screenshot. Interested in releasing more vanity? I mean, like, sure, but like, where would that be, you know? Will a secret location behind Waterfall have any use in the future? I don't know about that whole thing. I don't know why that's there, so you don't ask me. Is Sailord human? He's Sailord. Will the unused frozen cathedral area behind the wooden door be used in the future? It's kind of just like, it's an unused thing. It was supposed to be a part of the cathedral when it was added, but it never got expanded, so. And thank God it never got expanded, because as I already said this before, but half the reason why that update was released when it was because I kind of just got like fed up with working on it. I think everyone there got fed up with working on it. It was taking too much time, and working on the same thing for 3 months kind of sucked. So can we have flying mounts as an endgame mount? Flying mounts would be cool. Just like flight in general would be cool, but yet again, who knows when they'll be added. And also, the problem with like having flight is like flight is cool and all, but like there's no point when you can just like use like pocket mirror or something. There's like no, like as soon as you have pocket mirror, it doesn't really matter what transportation is because you get fast travel for free. So, well, Myers at least have extended dialogue if you think. I don't know. I didn't make Myers, so I don't really touch him. Will Pot Cup sell his cup hat? I don't know. Make a fruit folk race. I don't think we're gonna make a fruit folk race. I'm just saying. Will you activate window? Listen, okay. I don't know how to get rid of it. And I'm not aware of how to get rid of it, so it's just gonna be there forever until I somehow get rid of it one day. It really only like matters to me when I'm making like something like this where like you can clearly see it. It doesn't really matter to me when I'm coding or anything. So buying a Windows license would be like giving into like peer pressure. So update your Windows. I updated it. It doesn't get rid of it. I'm pretty sure it only does that when like it doesn't recognize it as like an official license or whatever. It's whatever it thinks of my computer. Why are the fruit folks British? I mean, why wouldn't they? Why don't you want more British people? British representation, Why don't you want more British representation? Why is there so many specs? Because of me. I'm the reason why there's so much specs. Because I like having fun. I like adding shit that will never be added. And, I love adding specs. Like, my existence is a spec. Look at me. I'm a spec. This is me. I am the spec. And that's why. Although I will say that some specs that I've added, I may be adding into the game actually, but you'll see when that happens. What's with the blue dagger-like weapon that the elite guard was holding during the Truth Hurts boss? The hell is... What? I don't know what you're talking about. Does the Prime brand greatsword exist? No. Let's see. What is the origin of tea? Search up tea on Wikipedia and you'll find out. I don't know if this got answered, but will N ever get more lore or extensions surrounding him and the cult? I don't know. I didn't make N, so I can't really say anything about him. But like, I mean, there's not much you need to know about him at that point. I mean, you already know everything you need to know about him. Will Mortal Blade drop from charred cremains? No. In fact, there's no real place to put it. But I mean, if I do find a place to put it, you'll see it, so. Which part do you think takes the longest to work on for updates? The design, the music, and etc. Okay, so the part that takes the longest, and this is notorious in the Snow Cultist update, the part that takes the longest is ideas. It's ideas. The longest part in an update is ideas, because whenever we consider idea, it goes through like a lengthy process of like making sure that, you know, it's actually usable, it's actually, you know, people won't just drop it for anything else, you know. Like, we have to actually like go through like a huge discussion on what, you know, what's actually useful and what should be added and what doesn't override something else or whatever. And also just finding ideas that aren't, you know, bland ideas. But, you know, personally, whenever I add shit, I don't give a fuck about any of that approval process. Kai Guy was made without, you know, my idea being approved first. You know, Shock Marauder wasn't added without my idea being... Shock Marauder was added without my idea being approved. You know, most of the stuff that I added was made without approval. It was made without, you know, anything, because... And as you know, most of the time people like my bosses. So most of the time people like the stuff that I make. So it only takes a little rule breaking to make peak content. When will there be an update? When it comes out. When it comes out. I mean, I'd like to personally say, like, in the future, I plan to, you know, actually make people aware of updates instead of just randomly dropping it like the Snow Cultist update. Half the reason why Snow Cultist didn't do well was because, like, half the people didn't even know that it happened. If we just, you know, like, hyped it up a little bit, then it'd be, you know, a lot more people would have known about it. So the update will be next month? No. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. How many accessories do you think Kai Fist will get? I am planning to add one more, but you'll see when it gets released. It's probably not gonna get much more afterwards because it's like there's so much fucking content about that one fist, and like Rock Wando is lacking way more than Kai Fist, so. Do you or your team 3D modeler use the Roblox Studio parts that y'all do use Blender? Our quote unquote 3D modeler uses Blender. If ideas take long, why not have a separate group of volunteers that usually have very exceptional ideas? We have testers for that. We have tester suggestions. But it also comes down to whether we approve anything at all. Because even if we have an idea, it has to actually be, like, you know, consulted and approved before we add it. So it just comes down to whether we find it, you know, everyone finds it good. Are you planning to add ban and kick in VIP servers? I don't manage that because I don't do anything like that. I don't do anything like, you know, anything technical like that, because usually I fuck up something and it breaks the game. I just prefer to add content rather than working on systems and shit. Why did you say that Blood Twin goes crazy? I told 3D what you said and he said your actual line. When did I say that? I don't remember that. Will there be a rapier sword? Yeah, I mean, it was already shown before. Yeah. There is a rapier that's being added, but you'll see when it happens. Who made N? The N in game is from a different game, and if you know that game, you'll know where he comes from. What do you think of the Deepoken community and the Pilgrim community? Okay, listen, okay. The Deepoken community, at least from what we've seen, hates our game. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Deepwoken developers hate our game, or just hate us. I don't know. People view Pilgrimmed as like some sort of copy or like some sort of ripoff, but if you just played the game for like 10 seconds, you'd see that it's not the same. I mean, sure, it has parrying, but in reality, parrying in this game is more like just blocking at the right time rather than, anything substantial. Like, you're just avoiding damage, is what parrying does, rather than, you build up posture and then you posture break your enemy, and then you get to, do this 100th combo. No, like, and people that review the game, some of them make it look bad. People usually, like, some people play the game and they play it like it's Deepwoken, and then they get surprised or like disappointed when it's not like Deepwoken. So, like, obviously no one's gonna be touching this game in the future, at least for now. But, like, my suggestion is for, like, anyone that's playing the game for the first time, don't play it like Deepwoken. Don't expect it to be like Deepwoken. Tell anyone that's trying Pilgrim for the first time that it's not Deepwoken, because, or like Rogue Lineage or whatever, because the worst thing you can do is tell someone to play a game a way that it isn't. So, like, it's like playing tic-tac-toe as if it were a game of chess or something. Like, no, you don't play it like that. You play it like tic-tac-toe instead of chess. Are you planning on making another challenge? I'd like to make another challenge someday, but there's not really much I could do right now. And also, I'm more focused on working on the update instead of doing that. Will you release a full lore of Pilgrim? Feels great to be invested in. I'd like lore to be discovered, and like, because here's the problem with like just giving out the lore, all of it, because not only is it just like, you're spoiling everything, even if they know the lore, then spoiling everything kind of sucks. Like, it's better to have a game where, you can make theories instead, because that way, you can you have to actually think about what something is instead of just the game telling you. So that's why like, for example, Kai Guy is vague or anything like that, or like N's origins are vague or anything like that, because it's better to just have theories and stuff instead of having it right on the table for you. You consider to make an item for Rockwondo a bit better than it was, since it's not that great. Yeah, Rockwondo is definitely gonna get something. I can't say what it is, but it'll definitely get something in the future. Why was Highway Sun ever reworked? Because it sucked. I mean, I say the Highway Sun rework was better than the original, but I mean, I have more fun with the original. Not the original, the rework. That's all I'm saying. Is Duster and Yeller an admin boss for upgrade? Duster and Yeller doesn't exist. That's all I'm saying. Duster and Yeller doesn't exist. Is there gonna be like new weapons and hats? And not gonna lie, it would be cool if you could wear the cone hat. You'll see. You'll see. There is gonna be new weapons for the update, but you'll see when it comes out. What do you think of the Pilgrim community then? I'm very glad that the Pilgrim community is, not as toxic. Mainly because it's not really PvP based, and also because it's not, the community isn't like directly from Rogue Lineage or anything, so it's not as toxic. And I think the community is a lot more supportive and like, casual. Although I would say that some people, I'm not gonna name names, but some people are making it a bit weird. Making it a bit weird to be a Pilgrim fan, or just to be in the Pilgrim server. I'm not naming names yet again, but some people make it weirder than it has to be. I see, but why was Kai Guy reworked? Personally, I think he was hard enough. Well, Kai Guy, I think Kai Guy deserved the rework. It's not even that hard, really, to be honest. The Kai Guy rework isn't really that hard. It's just more like you have to actually pay attention in his fight. I think that Kagai's rework was necessary because, and soon Shock Marauder will also be getting a rework. You'll see that when it happens. Shock Marauder's rework, I think, will make it a lot more fun to fight because right now it's garbage. And Kaigai was also kind of garbage and it was outdated and it was old and everything. The new one is actually, it's good. It's a good boss. It's a fun boss. People liked Kaigai from release, but I think it was a bit too buggy for me. What games do I play to design Pilgrimmed? Well, I play my own game. This isn't my own game. This is just a game I work on. My own game, I like playing a lot, but it doesn't have players, so, and it's not even released, so. But I play that. I played Risk of Rain for a little bit. I play Soulsborne games. I play, I don't play a lot, that much. And soon, once I get back into school, I'm not going to be playing a lot at all, so. Can we have the God biome with God enemies and a God boss that drops the God sword, God bow, God essence, and God staff, all with 1 in 10,000 chance? We'll be adding the God biome on December 1st, 2025. Mark the date. Give Hobo a rework. I think Hobo is fine. He's not really that hard. And also, I mean, he's not really that bad. Just parry his attacks and you win, so. Is Atlantis real? You got Atlantis. You already got Atlantis. People don't realize this. The April Fool's update was secretly a way to implement Atlantis without actually having to add it. The Atlantean Plane 1, that was Atlantis. That is Atlantis right there. Rework the loot. How do you rework a loot you already got? It's an instrument. What else would the loot do? That's all I'm saying. Is King Thief gonna get reworked? Because some are gonna get reworked in the future. No, probably not. The Thief King is kind of just Thief King. There's no real reason to rework him. I mean, he is the first boss, so. Will Hobo get the parry meter above his head like Kaigar now? I mean, that wouldn't be bad, but like, what's the point? I mean, I guess for clarity, but I don't know. You have to fix the highway sun bad move, not gonna lie, it's been broken for a month. Broken how? I don't know, me personally, I haven't really gotten a chance to play the game, like the live servers, in a while, so I wouldn't know about anything like that, but I mean, maybe I'll hop in later today and see. But what do you think about the constant update when first it was tolerable and now it's just like, what's the point of asking that? Like, you already know the answer. Like, I had this idiot in my DMs, and that's when I made that like pinned message at like 10 p.m. Right, there's this idiot in my DMs, and he spam called. He didn't spam call me. He ghost called me to get my attention, and then when he got my attention, he basically said, "Your game is dying. Fix it." And I'm like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do?" And he's like, "Update." I'm like, "I'm working on the update," and then he just went on about some dumb shit. So like, don't be like that guy. Please, like, I beg you, like, it's really DMing me and asking for an update is not going to get the update done faster. In fact, it's just gonna give me a migraine. So, like, just don't do it. Like, there's no point. And don't do that to anyone else. I doubt anyone else has their DMs open, but don't do it to me, please. That's all I'm saying. Do you know about 3&D's Pilgrim speedrun? I haven't seen it, but I'll maybe watch it later. Well, he didn't spam call, he ghost call. Remove the tome and make it so that the loot buffs players around it, but remove the tome. We're not remove. Why do you want the loot to... It's just a funny guitar that makes notes, like... No, we're not... I mean, I'd like a loot item, like a practical loot, or like something you could actually use to like buff enemies, not buff enemies, or like buff your allies or something. Just do anything with it, but like, I mean, that would be too weird to differentiate. So. Don't mind me asking this, but what are y'all planning to rework? I'm reworking Shock Marauder, soon. I think to make players happy for now is if you just add Saga mode for like one day. The thing is like Saga mode was just it was purposely bad. Like that was us making a joke. That was a joke update. And it's like purposely soulless. I think it would be kind of disrespectful that we really, if we just released it as like an actual update or anything, because it's just reworks, not even reworks. It's just like, it's copy and pastes. You're just copy and pasting bosses into that. Like, it's just a copy and paste over copy and paste over copy and paste, and like all the areas are just like inspired off of something else, or like it's completely garbage. So really no point. Let's see. What do you think of Pilgrimmed Artists? Some of them are concerning, but most of them are cool. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I don't want anyone questioning anything, but, you know, if you know, you know. Will there be more race? No. Is cremated cremation the only boss that would be added in the next update? Who knows? Probably not. That would be kind of lame to just have one boss in an update, but you'll see. Will there be more weapon types added? Curious. Yeah, as I said before, some weapons are being added, are actually like unique ones, like they're new weapon types kind of. But I mean, it probably won't be expanded. Like there won't be any more of those types of weapons, but we'll see. You know, unique weapons are cool. Will Snow Cultists and You Fair Fight get their achievements? I mean, I thought Snow Cultists had an achievement already for beating him, but I mean, Unfair Fight having an achievement is kind of bad because he's like under the map, so like getting to him would be... You shouldn't have to glitch out the map to get into a boss. That's kind of lame. What do you think is the best slash strongest feature of Pilgrim? It's like, because there's no like real strongest feature. I think it's just fun. Like this, it's not like, I don't want to compare, so I'm not, but compared to other games, I don't want to compare it to specific games because then that causes wars and fucking chats and shit. But like, compared to other games, I think like Pilgrim is more lighthearted, and also it's just based on being more fun than other games, and it also helps that it's not PvP based and it's more PvE focused. I mean, there is PvP, but it's not really encouraged as much as PvE. And the PvE, I think definitely the PvE is a lot more advanced. Not advanced, but you know, a lot more fleshed out than other games. I'd say that definitely. Some other games I've played, their PvE is... and it's also like partially because it's like the fights are like Soulsborne, kinda. They're like Souls fights more than having just random attacks that they throw at you. You know, having like patterns and stuff. And I think that's like a strength in its own right, because I think games should actually develop their PvE more and make the PvE more fun. Because if you're gonna have PvE, then you might as well make it fun to do the PvE instead of just making it like, hey, we have PvE. You can like one shot them, but you can have PvE. Can we make it so that Blood Chalice is disabled in duels? We've been talking about that. Blood Chalice is really broken in duels, but we'll see. We have been discussing like what to do about Blood Chalices. Is there gonna be more defense armor and helmet in the new update? Here's the problem with having armor, because eventually we're gonna run out of like themed armor. Like the problem with armor in this game is like, because we rely on Blotnik. He's the clothing designer. He doesn't work on this game, but he has like a free library of clothing, and we use that library of clothing to make our outfits. But the problem is that he only has a limited selection that fits this game. So once we run out of that, we're basically out of armor, and then we'd have to switch to like 3D or make our own clothing, and that's like a whole different level. I thought people don't flush PvE out because working on Roblox AI is tough. No, because here's the thing though. Because, of course, having like super advanced AI or anything, that's hard. But like Pilgrammed fights, they're not really that bad. The Pilgrammed bosses, and like, because like it's not like anything crazy or anything. Like even flashy bosses like Kai Guy, they're not really that hard. Because it's a pattern. It's a set pattern of attacks, and each attack, you can make whatever you want. So it's like, of course it's not going to be as advanced as you want it to be, but if you just settle for less and you just add something that's fun to fight against, and I mean, it's easy as pie at that point. People just want like AI to be like players, which I don't get why you want AI to be like players. The last thing I'd want in a game is my PvE to look like PvP, because then what's the point? Why don't I just go to PvP then? You're just fighting bots at that point. You're just fighting like AI that you'd see in like a fighting game or something, rather than like being immersed in the story or anything. And people call like anyone that like, because people call like simple AI bandit beaters, they call. And people don't understand the true definition of a bandit beater. People called Pilgrim the bandit beater, which I don't get how. It really isn't like that. Pilgrimmed AI is definitely not bandit beater. You want a bandit beater? Look at like Pixel Piece or like some JoJo games where they have like enemies that all they do is just they do like one attack, and they have like a bajillion health, and you're just supposed to wear down that health with like super broken damage numbers and shit. It's like dopamine hits. It's cheap dopamine hits. Will the village have any more changes? We'll see. We're not adding a trading update. Whatever your name is, that's a Greek letter, I think. Some people ask if there's gonna be trading update. Yeah, no, we're not adding trading. Trading, nah. Not only is trading just kind of bad, it makes it brings out the bad in people, but also just like, what's the point? Like, you can get stuff, anything in this game you can get by yourself. The only thing that I'd say is like, quote unquote tradable is like a Legends Cauldron or something from the challenge update. Not the challenge update, just the challenge. Why do I keep saying random shit? But like, the challenge that I made, the item that comes for winning the challenge, that I would say is like tradable. But other than that, there's like no point. You can get everything yourself. The only reason you would want items early on, or like want to trade items, is so you can get early on items when you're like low level. And then what's the point then? What's the point of playing the game if you can just get boosted to the end game tier weapon? Because it's not like anything has like a requirement. No weapon in this game has like stat requirements, for example. You know, you can use an endgame item as like a level 1. So mushroom race 1. I've been thinking of like adding like a race that like only like developers can bestow onto people. And I was thinking like this race. This isn't really a race. It just looks like one, but it isn't. This would be cool to have like as like my own mushroom army. That would be cool, but you'll see. You'll see if I ever do that. What do you think about adding rewards for achievements? No, nah, because achievements, nah, nah. Okay. Let's see. Was there any inspiration that caused Pilgrim to come to existence? Ironically, it was partially because so part of the reason why Pilgrimmed was, made into what it is today is because of me, because I had like this phase because we were still working on our other game. Still, reluctantly, I was still, a part of that. And I really wanted to work on something new. I wanted to work on like an RPG or something, kind of like, Rogue Lineage and stuff. Like, I wanted to work on a game like Rogue Lineage. So we had a project that was like similar to already that we haven't touched in like years, by the way. And all of a sudden, I just started trying to push for working on that game, working on that specific game. And then we made a new game, and it was like, it was like bare bones. I don't have any footage of it, but it was just like sword fighting basically. And like, the whole gist was just like, you could craft weapons and stuff. And I just started pushing for, pushing to make a game, like making this game. Like I really wanted to make this game. And so that's how Pilgrimmed was conceived. And I also made the name. I already said this multiple times, but I'll say it anyways. I made the name. I made some of the ideas as well, like the core ideas of it. Even though for most of its development I was gone. I'm probably like part of the reason why it was even, it even came up how it is today. So loading a boss pattern is kind of easy. Do you intend of adding a boss that has very random pattern? Like, I'd like to make a boss that has more randomized moves so that, it's not just a full-on thing, but yet again, it is nice to just have patterns. Even like FromSoft bosses have patterns. They have like set patterns of attacks, but they use it randomly, and it's like situational. I think it's like, hold on. Instead of like a boss just having like it does 1, 2, and 3, instead like it'd be like if there's a certain distance away, they do 2, 1, and 3, or if they're at a fixed distance, they're like 1, 2, 3, and then if they're very close, it's like 1, 2, and then like it like more situational patterns would be cool. Like reacting to how an attack affected you would be cool, instead of just having randomized patterns. Because the problem with randomized patterns is like that's what old Kai Guy was. It was just random patterns, and as you could tell, it wasn't necessarily the greatest thing. How did you feel when Pilgrim got 20k players? I mean, it was it was good because people were enjoying our game that we worked on for 2 years. But also, it's like, if you read my messages from that time, you would know that I predicted that Pilgrim would fall, because it was it's kind of like a firecracker, it was like a sparkler or something. It just it blew up and then it immediately fizzled out. That was basically what Pilgrim was. But I do plan on, with like, as long as we have the dedication and like we start, picking up the pace a bit, I'd say that we could reach like somewhere close to our previous numbers. Because here's the thing though, people just left because of like either an update they didn't like, or like maybe they just got bored because core issues like, replayability not existing or like an end game not existing. So if we solve those issues and we just advertise the game, then I mean, surely those people would come back. I mean, it's clear that people are getting tired of other games. So, one day, you'll see us again. One day, if people got bored, they'd see us again, and they'd be like, let's try that out again, And then, it's history after that, really. What's the 20 million visit celebration? You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. You make test dummies customizable in private servers, like edit the health and defense. I don't really. I wouldn't do that myself anyways, but also I just like, what's the point? How much overall ropes? I'm not going to go into numbers because we don't care about money. We never have, so there's no real point in flexing numbers or anything. What was your guys' reaction when y'all got your game successful in the past? Like, for example, like, we've had, like, games that have gone, like, noticed by YouTubers and stuff. Like, big YouTubers. But those were just, like, shitty little games. But, like, this game, it's a lot more gratifying to me that, an actual good game like this got noticed by people other than, like, our shitty little other projects that we had back then. If you know, you know, but, like, Pixonia Studios used to have very, games that were originally meant to be jokes that blew up, and when we actually released a good game, it didn't blow up at all. So, it's just a matter of, like, it's kind of great that people, notice our game. It makes me happy that, like, you can be good. You can have a good game and actually get people to play it. It's just if it's gonna be a Pilgrim. I don't know. Do you plan on expanding the main island, or will future updates be smaller islands and teleports? We'll see. I mean, we're expanding, not expanding, we're extend this the new things that's being added. It's gonna be like an extension of something that previously existed. So you'll see. Have you ever regretted making Pilgrim? Have the fame made you rethink the effort you put in? Has the fame put in pressure? The pressure caused you to fall back? How are you coping if you are? Like, I think the worst I felt was like after Snow Cultist, because like that update was like kind of shit. Like, even like if people enjoyed it, like I did realize like how flawed it was compared to our other updates and like other content. But that's just like it felt better now that we're not working on something that we don't want to work on. I'd rather release, slop like shit, like just straight up shit that like Snow Cultist, and then work on something that I actually want to work on, because it was either that or just drop the entire update and never work on it for another like 3 months and work on something else, or spend another couple months going back and forth on how we can make this update good. Like, I'd rather just have a shitty update, one small shitty update, and then have better updates that are actually cool. So if cooking gonna be an update, I don't know. Will summoning items get more love? I mean, like, here's the thing, the summoning is technically not a class. Summoner is not a class. So, I mean, it'd be cool to add, some summoner things. But I don't want, I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't want summoner to get too good, because then it's just lazy. Like, the idea of summoner is just lazy. You're just getting people to work and fight for you. And that's kind of boring. That's not really fun. I mean, if you find that fun, then go play, like, Clash of Clans or something. Where did you get the name Pacers from? I didn't make it, but I know that the Pacers was, like, from, like, an old project that some of the other developers on our team made. It's like a reference. No one will get it, but it's a reference. I got a question. How much races will you add in the future? I don't think in the upcoming update, I don't think we're gonna add much races. Well, we probably won't add any at all, actually. But, it'd be cool to have, like, one or two more races. I do want to add, like, a cool little race that, like, developers can give out. Like, this one, for example. But, like, it would be, something that you'd have to get from a developer or something. Would you add more mini bosses in the future? Probably. Honestly, I think our upcoming update's gonna have a mini boss. Let's see. Ever monetize this game with Game Passes, I will literally stop playing for. Because here's the thing, right? Like, if we ever did add Game Passes, because, like, it would be cool to have Game Passes, but it would only be, like, for cosmetic. We don't like the idea of pay to win. Like, having, like, a little, like, cosmetic Game Pass or something, that'd be cool. But we wouldn't have, like, a bunch of them or anything. It would just be, like, one or two at most. How big will the new junk pits be? Junk pits isn't being worked on this update, so junk pits doesn't exist. It's just a little thing. It does exist in the world, but it's not like it's not being worked on or anything. It's not like realized into the game. Was it hard to work on the Kai rework and Pirate and other? I didn't rework Pirate. That was another developer. I did rework Kai guy. It wasn't that hard, to be honest. It wasn't really a hard thing. It's not gonna be like the VIP. Like, if we did game process, it wouldn't be like VIP or anything, or like MVP or anything, because that's like pay to win. And also, like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of getting the free game and then you buy something to make the game better? Like, what's the point? What do you think of furries? I'm fine with them. I mean, as long as they're not doing anything illegal, I don't care. Some of their like staff is furries. Some of our staff is like furries and others shit. So, I mean, I think they're fine. So, what is the Chalk Knight? What are you talking about? How do you plan to boost player count for the next update? It's not about the player count. It's just like I want more people to know about the update, because Snow Cultist update didn't get anyone to really play it because we didn't really talk about it, and it was just kind of released one day, So instead, what I'd say is that, like, it'd be cool if we had like a little trailer or something for it, yeah. But you'll see when it happens. Will Mage ever get a buff? It's kind of weak. It's not really weak. I mean, have you seen Wicked Limb? It's fucking crazy. But, like, I mean, obviously there's gonna be stuff added for Mage in the future. So, I mean, when that gets added, you'll see. Is charred cremains a reference to Lord of Cinder? No. Quick question: do you have to do a parkour to get on the new place and on the new boss or something? It's not gonna be a parkour. At least I don't think so. It's not gonna be a parkour to get to the new boss. Will there be more fishing slash chest exclusive accessories? Fishing is definitely getting more stuff. I don't know about chest stuff, but what's it called? Fishing is definitely getting more stuff. When do you think update will be done? It just depends on like what we do in the next 12 months or whatever. It should come out by this year. That's a given, but I don't know when exactly it's being done. I mean, it's not like necessarily it's unfinished, but it's not like it's not bare bones. It's definitely somewhere like minus a few things. It's definitely, you know, it's going places. Can developers still get attacked as using that mushroom rave thingy? If you're talking about this right here, this thing right here, I mean, you can still get attacked, but you can't. I don't really get noticed by enemies, as you can see by old fart here. Add bloodlust gem. What is bloodlust gem? That's some edgy shit. And also, that's too similar to blood. So, how many specs do you actually have right now? Like right now on my character, it's only my race and this. That's basically the only stuff, but in reality, I've made a lot of specs. Some of them I'm actually adding to the game, and some others I'm not. What do you think about pitch black skin color in Pilgrim? I think it'd be cool for a lot of Avatar, but also be used for the wrong stuff. Nah. Let's see. What else can I answer? Why Megadeth got removed? I don't know. What's my opinion on deinbag? I think it's a good game. I just don't like it. Like, I played it, and I mean, I got bored after a while. I think it's a good game, though. I prefer Rogue Lineage over it just because Rogue Lineage is more fun, but deinbag isn't really that bad. People make it seem like it's really bad. It's not that bad. Like, at all, really. Old Fart get reworked. Old Fart isn't really gonna get reworked, I think. I don't think it's gonna get reworked. It's already fine as is. Will we get more mushroom themed enemies? Probably not. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. Probably not. Have you ever planned to add gimmick bosses? No. But I mean, like, Big Fish would do really well as a gimmick boss. But, I mean, we'll see. Would be cool if this boss that drop a loot that increased a accessory slot like the demon heart that would drop. I mean, like, because like the problem with having a lot of accessory slots is like then you just get there's not really much dedicate. Like you have to actually like think of what you're gonna put because you know having so much accessory slots means that you know you're like you can add like so much more fucking buffs to your shit because like a lot of accessories are really good, but like you have to choose which ones you want. But like having so much accessory slots would just mean that your build is just godly for no reason. You just have all the benefits in the world for your build. And most like weapon classes or whatever have like if we had like more accessory slots, it'd probably take up the whole accessory slot thing for that thing, so you can just benefit with that thing with all the benefits. So what is the boss calamity of the North Sea? I don't fucking know what you're talking about. Do I play Rainbow Six Siege? No, and I played it like once and I didn't like it, and I immediately quit after like the first 10 seconds. Where are you? Well, probably gonna be a new April Fool's update event, whatever. It's not gonna. I doubt we'd use Saga mode twice, but we'll see. How old are you? I'm not telling you that. I already said my age before, I think, but I'm not gonna tell you my blood type. What the fuck do you? Why do you want to know that? What do I main in Risk of Rain? Well, I haven't really played that much. I don't really have a main, but I just played like every thing there. We're gonna get new pickaxes and also new ores. I don't know. I don't like work on mining or anything like that, so I can't really tell you. Will there be seasonal events? The problem with seasonal events is like, I mean, yeah, we could add it, but like, it's like having seasonal events would be like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like you'd want that. It seems intuitive to have it, but like, do we really want to work on seasonal events? I don't know. We'll see. Um, will the Forgotten Village be the way to the new area? I don't know. We haven't really decided. What is your mother's maiden name? Yo, you're weird, bro. You're weird, bro. Get out. Anyways. Will you make every accessory visible, like the thief thing cloak or the sunglasses? Some I don't really know why. Like, for example, like, probably not. It depends on whether it actually look good on a character. Do any other bosses have a birthday like N? I don't know. Yeah, are you planning on adding John Pilgrim as a chance to spawn in Prairie? No. Who is my favorite boss? Usually it's just the boss that I work on. Like, I don't have a favorite boss, but, like, for example, Kai Guy, or, like, Kai Guy, Highway Sun, Old Fart, I know there's, like, some other bosses, but I don't really feel like remembering them. Have I ever beat an unfair fight? Yeah. How do you think I worked on him? Where was Old Fart Scream sampled from? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think we know. I think we found the person who made it found it off the Roblox audio library, but we don't know where it comes from. Will there ever be an advantage to being bald and pilgrimmed? I don't know. Why would you want an advantage to be bald? Being bald sucks. Is Highway Sun the youngest boss, or is it Prison Troll? I don't know. Old Ford's dialogue, yeah, it was taken off a Tumblr post, but he's talking about the Scream. I know you mentioned a Shock Marauder rework on the way. Which other bosses do you think deserve a revamp? I don't know. I don't really think any other bosses need a revamp right now. Maybe like Viper Head, but like Viper Head's a beginner boss, so like, or like maybe Pro Thief. I definitely don't like, but I'm not gonna rework it. But like, I definitely don't like Pro Thief. But like every other boss, I don't really feel like reworking. Highway Sun canonically bald. You'll never know. Is there any more Shock stuff game rework beyond Shock Marauder, Greatsword, and Zap Antenna? I don't know. You'll see. See. Was Mysterious Charm rework necessary? I didn't make the rework, so I wouldn't know. Me personally. What's the Pure Essence purpose? Speaking of Pure Essence, I'm going to be adding something for Pure Essence in the future. I think people will like it. You'll see. Will there be monthly updates? I want to have like routine updates, but yet again, it just depends on how dedicated we are and like how productive we are. That's a better word for it. It's productive, because we're dedicated, but it's more like being productive. You have a plan about taking a break? I already took my break. I took my break after Snow Cultist, and now I'm back. So. A new accessory that acts similar to the Mysterious Charm pre-rework. I don't know. Are you planning to hire or to make more people? Because the problem with having more people to work on Pilgrimmed is like, the reason why we haven't hired new people is because it's a matter of trust, you know, and it's also like, we have to make sure that this person, like this hypothetical person that we hire, is not only trustworthy, that they're not going to leak anything and is actually going to listen to what we say. Like, they listen to like what we want the game to be like, but also we have to make sure that they're not incompetent, or you know, they're not mentally unstable or anything, but where they do something stupid to make us look stupid. You know, it's also like, everyone that works on the game is a volunteer. You know, it's a volunteer thing. people don't get paid. So, you know, it's like since people don't get paid, people usually want pay for their work, but we don't get paid. So it's like it's just a matter of, because of course I've gotten offers. I've gotten many offers. We've gotten offers where it's like people want to work, or people want to translate, or people want to, make music or whatever. But it's like, can we trust you? Do we know you? Can we trust this random person that wanted to work with us for like 10 seconds to not break everything? And more importantly, will they agree with what we agree with? Because remember, it's not like we're just like purely professional. Most of the time, we just act like our normal selves. So it's like, do they agree with how we, like, our opinions and our thoughts, and like, are they tolerant of what we say or what we do or whatever? So it's like, it's kind of like, it's like every developer on the team is friends with one another. So, it's like a huge friend group. Fexonia Studios is basically just a friend group as a studio. So having some brand new person is like, are they going to like what we say? Are they going to like what we post? Do they agree with what we do? So, it's just a matter of all that. So that's why we haven't added anyone. So, let's see. How do you feel being owner of the game? I'm not an owner. I'm a developer. I don't own this game. I work on it. Bloodbrain / Bubbly552. He's the owner. You can talk to him. Well, actually, don't. But he's an owner. He's the one who owns the game, and he's the one who owns Fexonia Studios. So. Why is old fart moving in the video? He always stops moving when his health bars show up. That's because he doesn't know I'm here. He's just wandering around. This is just how he acts when he's wandering around. What's my single favorite weapon? The new weapon that I added is very fun. That's all I'll say. The new weapon that I made is very fun, in my opinion. When you see it, you'll like it a lot. That's all I'll say. You'll like it a lot. Ed, donate. I don't know. We don't really need money, so that's why we haven't really asked for a donate. We don't really care about money, so we haven't made a donate button or anything like that. I know people want to support the game, so I mean, having like 1 or 2 cosmetic game passes would be cool, but adding like a donate feature or whatever, like, what's the point? We're not gonna do anything with that money really, so. Will Wicked Limb get its own heavy attack? We've been planning on like some attack. Some weapons are gonna get their own unique heavies. You'll see in the future. You'll see in the future update. Some weapons are gaining their own unique heavies in the future. Why do you add something that when it has no function for now? It's like, okay, so Pure Essence is gonna get its own function in the future. Glacial Spine, I don't know. Yet again, I don't add stuff like that usually, so I don't know why. But usually they'll get their own function someday. What do you think of Prime Brand? I mean, I don't use it, so I know 3D loves it, but I don't use it. What are weapons that you think need to be reworked? Not necessarily weapons that need to be reworked, but I do want to add some spec weapons I've made into Pilgrimmed so that other people can play with them. Because, I'd say that, like, daggers definitely need more love. Daggers don't really have much options right now. and like usually in like most games, daggers are undermined. But like I don't want daggers to be undermined, because like there's all these heavy weapons and all these swords and everything, and then you just see like the 4 daggers that you have available. It's like it's kind of lame. So like having a couple more daggers would be cool. Are you planning on adding, bringing back Sunken Gem? Probably not. Probably not. Snow Shatter is a dag, yeah, but Snow Shatter is like the only reliable dagger right now. What's my favorite boss? Other than Oldfire, I already said this before, but some favorite bosses I have. Kai Guy, definitely Kai Guy. I mean, Snow Cultist isn't terrible. Snow Cultist boss is cool. And like one other boss. That's pretty much it. Will there be more unique weapon type? I already answered this, but yeah, definitely. But whether those will be expanded on, like there'll be more of that type, will be different. Like, for example, one of the weapons I added is definitely a unique type, and one of the weapons that are being added other than my weapon is also a very unique type. So you'll see. But I think people will enjoy those. But I don't know if they're gonna get more in the future. But I mean, it'd be cool. But we'll see. What do you think of Pilgrimmed artists drawing female bosses? I mean, you have fun with what you do, but I mean, just like, don't be too weird about it. I don't want people to be too weird about the bosses, because yet again, like, they're you just don't do that. Like, this game is not that type of game. So will there be new gems in the upcoming update? I don't know, but I mean, it'd be nice to have more gems. What are you looking to change the most for Pilgrim? I do want to tackle like issues that like cause people to get bored with it. Like, for example, people constantly say that there's no end game, or like there's not much to do after you reach end game, and there's like no reason to replay the game once you play it once. So it's like, I want to add something. I want to add stuff to like make it so that replaying it is like actually incentivized, or like maybe you can get unique stuff for replaying it, or or like there's something to do after end game. It's something like that. Something like that would be cool. Man, what the fuck? Hold on. God damn it, my fucking thing crashed. Man. Ah, fuck, and I'm in a public server. Man. I didn't rage quit to say it disconnected because it got mad at me for taking too long. Oh, okay, hold on. Hold on, give me like 10 seconds. Give me like 10 seconds, hold on. Damn it. But yeah, let me answer your questions while I'm here. If you want to try a different build, you can literally just do it on the spot without having to... Yeah, but like... So it's more like, there's not much to do. I mean, you get to try new builds, but then what happens after you run out of builds that you want to do? Like, there's not much to do, so... it'd be nice to have like stuff that you can do afterwards that like actually, you know, be fun to do. Because I mean, it's not really fun to kill Thief King while you have like the max while you do like 1,000,000 damage. So like all that gets boring after a while. So maybe adding like something that'll last forever or something, then that would be cool. Alright, hold on. Wait, I'm setting up screenshot. There we go. Yeah. 10 more seconds. There you go. There we go. I'm back. Okay. Could you fight Kaigar on screen? I can fight Kaigar blind because it's very easy. Is Tower of Dylan gonna be a dungeon like hack and slash area? Nah, but all I'm gonna say is for Tower of Dylan, we'd want it to be, you know. Hold on. Tower of Dylan and like to be, you know, something unique. That's all I'd say. Something unique. I'd like to have Tower of Dylan do. There you go. Can do Kaiga on screen? Okay, I'll do that. I can do that right now, actually. I'll do it with Old Sword. Yeah, I'm fucking. Ah, come on, bro. Army! Beat these people ass! People, beat these people ass! Beat their ass! Beat their ass! Beat their motherfucking ass! Beat their motherfucking ass! Okay. An old fart's gone because he despawned, so. Oh, actually. Jesus! Get him! Get him now! Get him now! Get him now! Get him now! Get him! Get him now! Get him now! Oh my god, they're actually whooping him. Holy shit. Get him now! Get him! Get him right now! Get him right now! Get him, my minions! Get him, my minions! There you go. So. There you go. No more old part. Anyways. Oh, let's see. What is Sunken Gem? Sunken Gem used to be, I already said this before. Sunken Gem was basically an accessory where like if you were about to die, right? It kind of worked like I think whatever that fucking skill is called. Or like if you took lethal damage, then it'll resurrect you. It'll resurrect you, but you have to kill something in 30 seconds, and if you didn't, then you'll die forever. Just kidding, you'll just die. What do you think about Roblox possible new default avatars? I don't really care. Does Mushroom Race have other special abilities? Not really. You just kind of... Pretty much it. Will you add building, housing, and stuff? Like, what's the point of that, though? What does the creepy scream do? You want to see what the creepy scream does? You ready? You ready? Oh, it does. That's not Patriot's Scream. Patriot's Scream is red. I saw a hint of your inventory. What's the Burger Bash should do? You'll never know. You Kaiga again, but easy bell with 100% crit chance. Nah. You spawn 100 mini. Nah. What if y'all just add a literal bomb, like a mini nuke that damn. Like, why? I don't have Candy Crush on my PC. That's this, that's Microsoft floatware. Or, well, just advertisement, really. They're, like, advertising it. I don't have Candy Crush. What do you feel about gun bosses? Gun builds slaughtering bosses. Any build can slaughter bosses, so that doesn't really matter. What do you think of N12? I don't really talk to him that much. Well, some of your specs be public. Yeah, so I do plan that have like a mushroom race that people can get, but like a developer has to give it, so you know, it makes it a little bit more special. And also like I do want some like spec weapons to be accessible, but it just depends on like how that works out and like where it would fit and stuff. Because like most of the stuff I add is like flashy and stuff, so it's not like it's practical, but it's also not really. Have you ever felt burnout? Yes, I have felt burnout many times. It's so much burnout, in fact, that I've like quote unquote quit Pilgrammed like 3 times in its development, including the one break I took like after Snow Cultist. Will new races be added in the new update beside Mushroom? Nah, probably not. It's midnight for me. Shouldn't I get sleep? Yeah, sleep is good for you. And also, don't go to sleep at 12. Go to sleep at like 9 or 10. Get like 8 or 9 hours of sleep. Beautiful. Wake up at like 6. Wake up at like 6, 7. Something, or you'll love. At least for me, I love waking up early. I love waking up early. It's like just like the advantage you have when you wake up early. What weapons slash accessories slash etc. are scrapped? The only thing I can show that's scrapped that I'm like confident won't be added again is like this. Hold on. It's an old mob. that I made like a while ago that doesn't really exist anymore. This guy right here. But he's kind of like pointless. He doesn't really matter to me. And also they're incredibly weak, so that's kind of it. He's just a little mage enemy. Like, hold on, let me just get another one. Bam. See, look. He spams projectiles that track onto you, and that's really fun, right? That's just so fun. That's like, this isn't fun. This just kind of sucks. Fucking kill all of them. There you go. There's a little mage enemy under his orb. Anyways. Yeah, like a view here. There you go. That's pretty. But yeah. Is there an unused weapon? Yeah, probably. But I don't want to show anything because then if we decide to add it one day, then there'll be spoilers. What does Spore Essence do? It's this. Spore Essence is this. It's just this. That's all Spore Essence is. Those your other weapon specs? Nah. Nah. Will there be will there be more content in the early game progression? Well, I don't know. It just depends. If we feel like it, I don't know. I don't really care about it, so. What time is it? Whatever's on your clock. Whatever's on your like watch or something. But why are you asking me for the time? And you showed the old bell. I think the old bell does exist, but I don't have it. I don't feel like typing it in or whatever. Swordfish gonna be in the fishing update. Yeah. Why is the server lack emoji? There's like a bunch of emojis. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright. Last minute questions? Last minute questions, anyone? Before I hop off. What was the biggest mistake in Pilgrammed? Shock Maraudery. I'm just joking. But like I don't like Shock Maraudery. But there was definitely some mistakes we made. Let's see. Will there be more utility and support tools? There is more support tools I'm planning to add. You'll see when it happens. It's kind of cool. You'll see. It'll be cool for trolling as well, if it does come out. Can you open Discord and review fan arts? Nah. Where did that mage enemy fit into the game? They didn't. That was the point. It got removed. Because it didn't really fit. And also, it was just kind of bad. Lore friend when friend doesn't really have that much lore. He's just there. I don't know why you want to know a lot about him. Will there be clever tome nerf? It really affect the support player. I mean, that's like part of the only support items you get. Why would you want it to be nerfed? I mean, I don't have a problem with it, so. Why did friend end up in the false believer? You'll see. I mean, he literally tells you. So, I mean, you think one-shot builds should be possible? I mean, one-shot builds. I still believe that one-shot builds should be possible. I don't like making one-shot builds easy. I don't want one-shot builds to be easy or anything. Having them be easy is like bad for the game. I think it's like my thought process is like one-shots or like really overpowered builds should be attainable if you really invest into a certain type of build, a very specific build. If you really find out the exact way to get a really broken build, then sure, it should exist. But it should be very hard to get it and very hard to use. Alright. I'm gonna head off for now. Yeah, I'm gonna head off for now. Thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright. See you guys. Thank you for coming.